All right, Mom, you're going to put a stop to this right now. What do you think you're doing, spreading such awful rumors about me? You're lying to the whole neighborhood about your own daughter. I can't even begin to tell you how much you've humiliated me.
Whatever could you be talking about, Melina? I haven't lied about you to anyone. That's an awful accusation to throw at your mother. What lies are you referring to?
You're telling everyone you know that my fiancé is a high school dropout, homeless, and collecting welfare. I just ran into Aunt Shirley downtown, and the first thing she did was ask me if I'm sure I want to marry a man like that. She spent a full 5 minutes trying to convince me to break up with him, thanks to you.
Oh, so that's what this is about. What's wrong with telling people the plain and simple truth about your fiancé? After all, the only kind of man dumb enough to marry a high school dropout like you must be equally as stupid as you are.
Excuse me? Did you just call me stupid? And I couldn't help but notice that that was also a cruel dig at my fiancé, too.
Again, was anything I just said wrong? You did drop out of high school, and you know what they say. Like attracts like. It's only natural to assume your fiancé must be equally as uneducated, reckless, and stupid as you are.
What gives you the right to talk about my fiancé like that? You've never even met him. I'll have you know he is a kind, intelligent, hardworking, wonderful man. Not only did he not drop out of high school, he actually went to college, and he got an advanced degree.
Are you serious? Your fiancé went to college?
Why do you think I've been begging you to meet with him and talk to him personally? You don't know anything about him. But whenever I invite you over for dinner, you're always busy with one thing or another. If you're going to talk to people about him, then common courtesy dictates you should at least speak to him first.
I would never even dream of doing such a thing. Why would I go out of my way to meet with your fiancé? I don't feel like associating myself with the dregs of society. Don't forget that I've been against you getting married from the very beginning. Tying the knot before your younger sister, Luna, it's absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous, madness even. So no, I won't be meeting with any fiancé of yours when I don't even consent to the marriage in the first place.
I don't get it, Mom. It doesn't make a bit of sense. Why are you so opposed to me getting married? I mean, the simple fact that I'm several years older than Luna makes it far more likely that I get married first, statistically speaking.
Don't play dumb with me. This has nothing to do with age, and you know it. The problem is that you're a high school dropout. Your sister Luna, however, went to a prestigious university and graduated with honors. You're inferior to her in every way imaginable. How could I ever allow you to get married before her?
I am at a loss for words. I genuinely don't know what to say in response to that.
Ever since she was a small child, I always knew that Luna would grow up to be beautiful and intelligent. I'm so proud to be her mother. You, on the other hand, are an ugly high school dropout. I'm ashamed to even be associated with you. And yet you still felt like you had the right to get married before your sister. You don't deserve happiness, Melina. You don't deserve love. Luna deserves everything.
Are you joking right now? You've got some nerve to say that to me. It's not like I wanted to drop out of high school. I had no choice. And you were the one who left me with no other choice, Mom. After Dad passed away when I was a freshman in high school, we did hit some hard financial times. But then you decided that we could only afford to have one of our family members going to school. You made me drop out of high school so I could work to support the family.
What was I supposed to do? Someone had to support the family. Your father died before his career took off. He left us with absolutely nothing.
If that's really the case, then we should have at least talked everything over as a family before deciding how to move forward. But you wouldn't listen to a word I said. You made the decision completely arbitrarily and without talking to either of us. Do you remember what you said to me then? You said that a college degree would be wasted on an ugly girl like me. So you made me drop out of high school to pay for Luna's college education.
With limited financial resources, I had no choice but to spend efficiently. With beauty and brains, Luna's sure to find a husband with no trouble at all. A man with class, style, talent, and of course, tons and tons of money. Once Luna marries that wealthy man, then he'll be able to support Luna and me. And I won't have any issues with maintaining a decent lifestyle into my elderly years. I had everything planned out intricately, and it all hinged on Luna going to college instead of you.
I see. So you weren't thinking about me or Luna. You were only ever thinking about yourself. You say you're ashamed to be associated with me? Well, that makes two of us. I'm ashamed to call you my mother.
Well, to think I worked so hard to raise you all by myself, only for you to speak in such a disrespectful way to me. I hope you're not planning on receiving any sort of wedding gift from me. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't plan on me coming to your wedding at all.
You can cut the act, Mom. We both know you were never going to give us anything to begin with.
Even if you're telling the truth and really are marrying a college graduate, it still wouldn't be worth my time to attend the wedding. Nothing changes the fact that he decided to marry an ugly high school dropout. He must be hideously ugly. He's probably overweight, too. Oh, and unemployed to boot. That's the only sort of man who would choose you to spend their life with.
Hey, Ken, got a minute? I need to talk to you about the wedding. Long story short, we're not gonna need to prepare a seat for my mom at the venue.
Oh boy. I guess that means she turned you down then?
I'm sorry, I've told you about this before, but my family is, well, kind of dysfunctional. I was planning to ask that she please come when I talked to her yesterday, but we just ended up having another fight. And toward the end, she said in no uncertain terms that she had no intentions of coming to our wedding. To be really honest, though, I don't really want her to come either.
Man, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I definitely would love for her to come to such an important event, but... Well, what can you do? I know you have a messy history with your mom, and if it's just gonna cause problems, then we don't need to invite her. It's our wedding, isn't it? The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones.
Thank you for being so understanding, Ken.
Oh, but what about your sister? Is she coming? Your issues are just between you and your mom, right?
Oh yeah, me and my sister get along just fine. We used to hang out together all the time whenever Mom wasn't around. Honestly, it seems like life for her isn't all rainbows and unicorns either. Getting love-bombed by my mom on a daily basis is just as troublesome as getting hate-bombed. I'm pretty concerned for her the way things are. When I announced that you proposed, Mom's face turned pale as a ghost, but Luna lit up with excitement. She was so happy for me.
That's great to hear. So does that mean we can plan on her coming?
Well, I haven't told her any details about the wedding yet, just the fact that we're engaged. I've been meaning to talk to her about that sometime in the near future.
Okay. From what you're telling me, it seems like it might be for the best to wait a bit before telling her, though. The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones. That's a really busy time of the year for students at that college.
I guess you're right. We can put it off for a bit longer. Thanks for the advice, Ken. I love you. Talk to you later. Mom, what in the world are you doing? You said you weren't coming. We never even sent you an invitation. But now you just show up out of nowhere and barge your way in? And that's all besides the point. Why are you dressed like that?
I felt responsibility as your mother to ensure that this wedding is a total disaster. What do you think of my outfit, dear? It took me forever to put it all on, not to mention finding somewhere they sell scythes. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get your hands on a real scythe these days?
You have gone completely insane. And you mean to tell me you went out of your way to come to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper just to ruin my wedding? What is wrong with you?
I told you, Melina, there was no way I was ever going to allow this wedding to go forward. You have no business getting married before Luna. At first I thought it would be enough to refuse to come, but the more I thought about it, I realized that simply my opposition wouldn't be enough to get you to cancel this monstrosity of a wedding. I knew that I had to forever bury your hopes and dreams of getting married. That's why I decided to come dressed as the Grim Reaper.
I don't believe this. How could you be so opposed to me getting married, Mom? I'm your daughter. Don't you want to see your daughter find happiness?
I would love nothing more than for my superior daughter to find happiness. You, however, are an inferior product. I could never allow a failure such as yourself to be happy. The thought of such an ugly, uneducated person walking down the aisle in a beautiful white dress, grinning from ear to ear, it just makes me sick. Why should you be so happy when the more deserving people are miserable? Have you no shame?
That's my line. Are you listening to yourself?
You should live a life more fitting of someone of your stature, poor, cold, and alone. And yet you have the gall to throw such an elaborate wedding. Luna should be getting married today, not you. You don't deserve any of this, and as God is my witness, I will do everything in my power to take it all away from you.
I can't do this anymore. You've always preferred Luna over me ever since we were kids. You never cared about me. You never loved me at all. If that's how you feel about me, why can't you just leave me alone? It's no business of yours who I marry, when I marry them, and what kind of wedding I have. Stay out of my life.
It's not that I don't care. If I didn't care, then you wouldn't make me so furious as you do. You're the spitting image of your father, that useless excuse for a man. How could he go and leave me alone like this? He forced me to take on the entire burden of supporting this family by myself. And every time I look at you, I'm reminded of him and what he did to me.
Mom.
That's why it pains me so much to see you happy. That's why I have to stop this wedding. Getting married is the happiest moment in anyone's life. I remember how I felt on my wedding day. Do you see now? Do you understand why I must do what I'm doing now?
So, that's why you're doing this? That's why you've been so awful to me all these years? I always thought you were just playing favorites because Luna's prettier than I am. I'm not deluded about my looks. I'm well aware that most people would say that Luna is the prettier sister. I freely admit that she's prettier than I am. But that wasn't it, was it? It was really all because I looked like Dad. Mom, I understand you've gone through some hard times. But that's no reason for you to use me as some kind of punching bag. I don't exist for you to vent your frustrations out on. I'm a human being. I'm your daughter.
You're right about one thing. You are indeed my daughter. And as my daughter, you are what I say you are. And I say you're my punching bag.
You're the worst, Mom. You treated me like trash to try and make yourself feel better. And today you came to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper with a real scythe and everything just to try and ruin my chance at happiness. You're such a child, Mom. Why did Dad have to be the one to die?
Shut your mouth, little girl. You can't talk to me like that. You're nothing but an ugly high school dropout. You're a disgrace to both me and your sister. Ruining this day for you has been the most filling thing I've done in years.
I hate to interrupt your self-satisfaction, but aren't you forgetting something important?
What?
You never asked me who my fiancé was. I told Luna about him, and she's met him in person before. So I figured she would have said something to you about him. But from the sounds of things, you really don't know anything, huh? Come to think of it, I'll bet she intentionally left you in the dark.
What's going on with you, Melina? You think your husband's identity would mean anything to me? I don't care one bit about who you're marrying. You claim he went to college, but I bet it was just some community college. No man worthy of my attention would ever marry an ugly high school dropout for a wife.
Well, while I did start out taking classes at a community college, my educational path didn't stop there. I went on to receive a master's degree, and I'm currently a tenure-track professor. But those qualifications aren't enough for you, Mother? My goodness, you have high standards.
What? Who is this?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Ken, and today it is my distinguished honor to receive your daughter's hand in holy matrimony. As I just mentioned, I'm currently teaching at a nearby university. I think you may have heard of it, considering it's the university that your other daughter, Luna, is attending.
You're a college professor, and at Luna's school, but that's the most prestigious university in the state.
Well, in all fairness, I was only hired this school year, so I'm new on campus. However, in that short time, I just so happened to have met Luna multiple times. Twice a week, to be precise, she's enrolled in one of my classes. She always sits in the front row and is very attentive. Most of my students are constantly fiddling with their phones during class, but not her.
This can't be happening. You're a college professor and Luna is one of your students? But, if you really have the qualifications that you say you do, then why would you even consider marrying Melina? I shouldn't have to tell you that she's ugly, but are you aware she's a high school dropout? Someone of your caliber shouldn't be wasting your time with an imbecile like her.
Yes, I'm aware of Melina's educational history. I disagree wholeheartedly on your assessment of her appearance and intelligence, however. Frankly, educational attainment is a horrible measure of a person's cognitive capacity. I can't begin to tell you how ungifted some of the people I have to deal with at the university are.
What?
Melina, however, is incredibly gifted, particularly in foreign languages. Did you know she's fluent in Spanish, French, and Mandarin? She makes great use of those skills in her work, too. Honestly, she's one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I've ever known.
But I don't remember her ever studying foreign languages. How could she speak all those languages without even finishing high school?
It seems you're not aware of much of anything at all that Melina has done with her life. She's the international liaison officer for a major trading company. It's her responsibility to translate during international meetings between the company's branches in Los Angeles, Madrid, Paris, and Beijing. Ordinarily, a company would have to hire at least one person per language, but she handles it all by herself.
I had no idea.
It's precisely those language skills that brought us together. You see, there was recently a major development in my field at a university in France. Unfortunately, however, I don't speak French. That's where Melina came in. It wasn't even in a field that she was an expert in, but she translated the entire paper in an afternoon. The way she was so willing and eager to take on a new challenge was completely enrapturing. I fell in love at first sight.
With her?
I invited her out on a date after that. Eventually, we became officially a couple, and just a few months ago, I asked her to be my wife. I've been looking forward to our wedding for so long, and Melina was doubly as excited. And yet, you, Melina's own mother, came out here today on a mission to crush her happiness. Ma'am, I'm not quick to be incensed. I like to think I'm one of the more level-headed people I know, but even I am struggling to rein in my anger right now.
Listen, Professor, I would like to apologize for everything I've said. Oh my goodness, I had no idea a person such as yourself would be interested in someone like Melina. And not only that, you're Luna's professor as well. I'm so ashamed. I'm going to go change into proper attire now. I'll be back in a moment.
Waste your time. We never prepared a place for you today anyway. Leave immediately. You are not welcome here.
What?
Let me make myself crystal clear. If you do not leave the premises within 3 minutes, I will call the police. Also, you should know that our university has a world-class law school. I know many of the world's best lawyers on a first-name basis. I will force you to take responsibility for what you've done here today. That I can promise you.
I'm leaving right now. I'm very sorry for everything. Melina, you owe me an explanation. Why didn't you ever tell me about Ken? I had no idea he was a college professor. I just humiliated myself thanks to you.
Thanks to me? Nah, you did a good enough job of humiliating yourself without any help from me at all. And please, I tried to tell you about Ken so many times. I've been trying to get you to come and meet him for the last several months. But you refused to meet him, and you ignored or denied everything I told you about him.
Hush, you! You could have tried much harder to introduce him to me.
Oh, for the love of...
I'll have to go and apologize to Ken immediately. I still can't believe he was Luna's professor. Maybe if I butter him up enough, he might give up his silly pursuit of you and marry Luna instead.
I don't believe you. You're still just thinking about using Luna's life as your retirement plan.
Nonsense! I'm doing this for Luna. The fact that I'll benefit is merely a pleasant side effect. A man like him deserves a woman like Luna on his arm. I need to call Luna, too, so we can schedule a strategy planning session. She's going to be so happy when she hears I've found a husband for her.
No, I don't think she's going to be so eager to take you up on that. She's already married.
What? Luna is married?
As expected, you are completely oblivious. You've showered her with affection every day of her life, but you never asked her if she had a boyfriend?
Melina, what are you talking about? What do you mean Luna's married? That can't be.
It totally can, actually. She just got married a few weeks ago.
No!
Luna had a big midterm exam a while back, but she was absent that day. Ken was concerned about her since he'd never seen her miss a single class. That made me worried too, so I gave Luna a call and she spilled the beans to me. It turns out that she was pregnant and felt too sick to get out of bed that morning. Furthermore, she was considering dropping out of school completely to get married.
She's pregnant? Oh no.
Yeah, I was surprised at first too. Then I went over to see her, and sure enough, she had grown a bit rounder in her face and waist. At that point, she was about 5 months pregnant.
No, Luna. Oh, my darling, sweet Luna. She was my everything, my hopes and my dreams. And now, oh, my dreams have been crushed to pieces.
She told me that she was sick and tired of everything. All the affection and attention you had heaped on her had become a massive amount of pressure. She did what you asked of her and got into that prestigious university, but she hated every single day of it. It was around that time when she met a nice guy, started dating him, and eventually got pregnant.
This is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, this is precisely the response she was afraid of. She was so afraid of what you'd say if she came out and told you the truth, so she hid her pregnancy from you. I was the first person other than her boyfriend that she had even told about being pregnant.
Where is Luna right now? Tell me. Oh, she can't be pregnant as a college student. I won't allow it. I'll also have to go and examine this boyfriend of hers to see if he's up to snuff. If she met him at her university, then there's a good chance he's exactly the kind of man I'm looking for. If he's gotten my precious Luna pregnant, then he's going to have to take responsibility by paying for my living expenses.
Yep, that's exactly what Luna thought you'd say, and that's exactly why she dropped out of college. She's already moved in with the baby's father.
What? She dropped out?
Looks like Luna finally had enough of you, Mom. She said that she was sick and tired of doing what you say. She'd been pushing herself to limit every single day of her life and couldn't handle it anymore. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet, peaceful life with her husband and their baby.
No. So you're telling me the truth then? She really dropped out of college? How could she do that without talking to me first?
Do I really need to answer that question? She had enough of your advice, so she came to me for help instead. I told her what you should have told her years ago, that her life is her own and no one else's. For her part, Luna felt awful about going to college while I was forced to drop out of high school. But honestly, dropping out was the best decision I've ever made. It freed me up to learn about what's really important in life rather than what they shove down your throat in school. When I told her that, it was all the encouragement she needed to walk straight to the administration office and drop out.
This is terrible. So where is she now? Do you know?
Nope, she didn't tell me, and I didn't ask. She sent me an envelope with a card congratulating me on my wedding, but there was no return address on it.
She can't do this to me. Oh, my sweet, precious Luna. She had everything. Looks, brains, style. I poured everything I had into her. What am I supposed to do now? I'm all alone.
Yeah, your big retirement plan hinged on Luna marrying a rich guy after all. But since Luna's out of the picture now, you'll just have to figure something out for yourself. And with that, I am taking my leave from this conversation.
Melina, wait. You weren't my first choice, but with Luna gone, well, beggars can't be choosers. Now you can be my favorite daughter.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry for being so cruel to you up until now. I just had no idea what a bright, intelligent, hard-working woman you were. How about we just forget about all our nasty pain and come together as a family again? I know. How about you and Ken take me out to dinner one of these nights?
Not a chance. You're way, way too late to have this change of heart.
But, I'm sincere about this, Melina. I want to make it up to you. We've got a lot of lost time between us as mother and daughter, dear. It's not too late to repair our relationship.
Yes, it is. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a mother. You're dead to me.
Melina, don't say that, please.
You have only yourself to blame for this. You've been the absolute worst mother in the world to me ever since Dad died. Come to think of it, I don't even remember you being kind to me while Dad was still alive. So no, it is most assuredly too late for you to start trying to be my mom again.
I know things have been difficult between us, but time heals all wounds. Let's give it some time, okay? I'm begging you, Melina. Without you, I have nothing left.
That's your problem, not mine. Maybe you should have thought twice before coming to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, that was just a joke. I was trying to be funny.
No one's laughing, Mom. Never contact me again. I won't even come to your funeral when you finally die. My mom tried to contact me a bunch of times after that, but I eventually got sick of it and blocked her number, so that was the end of that. I heard from my relatives and neighbors that she had gone around begging for any information on Luna's whereabouts. But they knew exactly what Mom had been doing to both me and her since our dad died, so none of them were willing to give up any of the little information they had. I don't blame them either. Mom always paraded her around like a new sports car or something. She only ever saw Luna as a designer purse, never as a daughter. Actually, I take that back. She also saw her as a walking, breathing retirement account. While I don't know where she's living, I still keep in touch with my sister. It's so nice to have Mom out of both of our lives now. She used to dominate every conversation, but now she's not even an afterthought. The baby's gonna be born soon, and both she and her husband are more excited than they have ever imagined they would be. I know just what a hardworking, intelligent, and positive girl Luna is, so I know she's gonna be a fantastic mother for that baby. I'm looking forward to having a similar sort of family life here with my husband Ken, too.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey Janice, have you been doing alright with your husband recently? You haven't been getting the cold shoulder or anything from your husband these days? Like when you try to talk to him, he just ignores you, or when you invite him out, he says no? You haven't noticed anything like that happening between the two of you lately? Why are you asking me all of this all of a sudden? It's very rare that I ever get a text or a call from you, Isabel. And having you ask about my husband is even stranger. Are you sure you're not confusing me with another woman named Janice or anything? I'm sorry, Janice. I don't think I know anyone else with the name Janice besides you. I just wanted to talk to you about something that I think might be bothering you lately. The reason that Jerry has been so cold to you lately is because of me. Right now, I'm going out with your husband. And all this started a couple of months ago, and we've been going strong together. Haven't you noticed that for the past few months, Jerry's been going on business trips a whole lot of more frequently? In reality, he's only been coming over to my place so that we can go out together. I'm sorry, I happened to get a hold of the man you love. But you should have known that I'd be coming back one day to get what you took from me. Wait a second, you're going out with Jerry? You and him are really dating now? I have no reason to be joking with you about this. The man you had been so happily married to is now in my hands, but that's bound to happen since you've always been in my shadow ever since the two of us were in school together. When I first heard that you had gotten married to a CEO, I really felt that. There's no way a man like that should be wasting away with a low-life scum like you. So I'm sorry to say this, but let me have your husband now. Huh? The spot you have next to your husband and that beautiful penthouse you live in with him are now mine. It's about time that I'm the one who won Jerry to my side. If you understand everything I've told you, I'd like it you got out from that penthouse right now. But him and I have been divorced for over 3 years now. Huh? Well, Jerry and I got divorced years ago. I never got around to letting everyone know about it or post it on social media, so I'd assume you never knew anything about this. Divorce? And 3 years ago? Yeah, surprise, I guess. Why are you telling me a bunch of bull crap right now? Do you think that telling me these crazy lies is gonna let me leave your husband alone? What? That wasn't a lie. Everything I said is very true. There's no way, Janice. I can see on that man that he has a wedding ring on his ring finger. Why would he still be wearing that if he was divorced? Come on, do you really think that I'm stupid enough to fall for your lies and will leave you alone? Please, I know all of this hurts to hear from me, but I'd never joke or lie to you about the man I love. I'm sorry, but I'll pass on believing you. You're wrong though, Isabel. I'm telling the truth when I say that him and I are no longer married. We divorced 3 years ago over some things that I'd like to sort of keep private. If you'd really like me to believe that you and him are no longer a thing, then show me by divorcing him right now. I'd like for him and I to get married really soon, so hurry up and get those divorce papers. When I've seen that you've signed the papers, then I'll trust everything you said. Hey Jerry, I heard that during the time we've been divorced, you've started going out with one of my good old friends from back in the day. I don't care who you choose to date now, that we're no longer a thing, but can you please make sure to explain everything to her before she comes to me spewing misinformation?
What? Since when did you learn that Isabel and I have started dating?
I got a few texts from Isabel about it. She seems to think that you and I are still married to each other. She told me that she's stolen you from me, so I have to divorce you now.
What?
She thinks that you and I are still married to one another, and that she's done a great job stealing you from me. I already know that she's a bit of a nut, but you have to do a better job at clearing things up when you talk to her. You and I divorced years ago, and you're still wearing the wedding ring. To her, she thinks that was a good enough piece of evidence to use as a reason for you and I still being together.
You're kidding me. What the heck? Isabel really went and started talking to you again? Well, I'm just glad that she started talking to you, which leaves me in the clear. If she started talking to my wife, I'd be in huge trouble.
Huh? What do you mean by your wife?
Now that I think about it, I never got around to telling you. I actually got remarried to another woman. I think her and I filled out the paperwork about a year after we got divorced.
Seriously? Then why are you going out with Isabel now?
If you just put a little thought into it, you'd probably get your answer. I'm only with Isabel for the ride.
Huh?
But if she were to seriously start talking to my real wife about her being with me, I'm so glad that she thinks that you and I are still married. It really helps me out a ton. Just thinking that she might have started to talk with my current wife, God, does it make me feel sick.
Jerry, you still haven't gotten over your urge to cheat? The whole reason you and I split was due to you cheating on me before. Now you're with another woman? And you're even cheating on her?
Well, it can't be helped, can it? I'm just the kind of man that's into these sort of relationships. I have the ability to literally get any woman to come my way. Even those within my company.
Huh?
But when it comes to someone like Isabel, she's far better than the rest. That's why I really enjoy using her as my toy right now, and I'm sure that Isabel has the same intentions with me. But perhaps I should start being more serious with her.
Don't say such awful things, Jerry. You have a wife right now, so I want you and Isabel to leave each other, please. I thought it was already enough having you sleeping with another woman while we were married, but for you to do it again to another woman again? You went through all the trouble of getting remarried, so you should take better care of her as your wife.
And I am taking great care of her, but the relationship I have with her and the one I have with Isabel are both very different. And besides, if I started to only focus on my wife and nobody else, what would all the other women that want to sleep with me think?
Huh?
Well, for the time being, I'm sorry that Isabel went and got you involved in this. I'll make sure from now on to tell Isabel about the reality of us two, okay?
The fact the whole reason you and I got divorced was due to you cheating, and yet here you are again, doing the same thing to your current wife. I'm just glad I got rid of you when I did.
You saying things like that must mean you still care a little bit about me, right? If that happens to be the case, do you want to try getting back together with me? I wouldn't mind having myself another wife to cheat on.
Don't start making fun of me, Jerry. Because of everything you did, the memories I have of you are all very depressing. So if I'm ever to get married to another man, I'll make sure he has no intentions of ever seeing another woman. I'd never once think about getting back together with a jerk like you.
But it was because you married a jerk like me that you were able to live in a penthouse with a huge CEO. Are you sure you're not missing the life you had with me, and that's why you want to get back together? You can't tell me the truth, Janice.
Excuse me?
If you'd like to get back together, you can message me anytime. Now, I'm heading out.
Starting today, I'll be living in the penthouse. I heard that you had no desire of leaving this place, and so you had to be tossed out. Huh? I was told by Jerry that you didn't even want to divorce him yet. So while you're still around, he said the two of us can't get married yet, but we can still live together. It's all because you just couldn't let go of him, and I now have to wait longer to be with my man. I'm just glad he was able to get you out of the penthouse. You're lying, right? Wait, are you telling me that you've seriously started moving into someone else's house already? Someone else's house? What the heck does that mean? Today, this place is going to become Jerry and my place to make love. I was actually a bit worried that it'd take him a long time to get me in, so I made a duplicate key for the place that I'll be using. What? So this means that you haven't even really talked to Jerry yet about going and staying in his penthouse? Well, when you put it that way, I suppose so, but I know that he'll be fine with it. After all, he loves me and wants to marry me as soon as he can. That's the kind of cute love the two of us share, unlike you. I don't think there's anything cute about your guys' love. What? The only thing that's not cute here is the fact that you still haven't divorced him even after being kicked out of the house. I keep telling you to hurry up and leave my man, yet you do nothing. I have no other choice but to toss all of your things out of here as well. Now that all your things are gone, there's nothing reminding him of you here, so you really do have nothing better to do than divorce him. You threw out all those things? I did. Every last thing is gone now. I was able to get someone to come here and take care of it all. I could definitely see that you had a lot of nice things since you've been the wifey of a wealthy CEO. I bet if I sold a lot of that online, I could have made thousands and thousands of all of it. All of your things were very luxury brand, so you must have had it all made out for you here. You're lying about all that, right? Doing that to someone else's things? But I told you that starting today, I'd be the one getting to live this luxurious life with Jerry, and so all of those things were technically mine. So this all means that you're never going to come back to this penthouse ever again, right? This'll be the place that Jerry and I can start making a family together. A woman that's no longer loved by him is only getting in the way now. Isabel, I want you to go out and get all of those things you just threw out. If you don't do any of that soon, I'm sure that his wife is going to call the police on you. Huh? His wife? That's you, right? Do you really think that it's a good idea to call the police on me over this? All I did was get rid of the little roadblock that was in my way of taking my seat next to my CEO. I never did one thing that was a crime. You went ahead and vandalized someone else's things. You took all her things and broke them down and threw them out, right? And the fact that the person that threw those all out is the person her husband is sleeping with. I don't think you'll be able to hide all of this from Jerry's wife now. Huh? Why do you keep saying his wife like she's not you? And I told you all of this before, right? Him and I have been divorced for 3 years now. And then after that, Jerry ended up getting married to another woman. And that penthouse is the place where Jerry and his current wife live. Huh? But that was the lie you made to try and get me to leave you alone, right? You really are divorced? We are. I wasn't able to deal with Jerry cheating on me anymore. And so the two of us got divorced. Actually, while we had been married to each other, he was sleeping with all kinds of women. I knew about that for a little while, but I just couldn't stand to be with him any longer, and had the two of us divorce. What? But to hear that he got married, when I first heard that from him, I had to look into them myself, and he really did happen to get married to a very well-off lady. And I know you've heard of him, that's his penthouse and all, but I think that the two of you are going to be kicked out of there once his wife finds out. Huh? You're lying. This penthouse is Jerry's, right? And I never even knew that he ended up marrying a really wealthy woman. And when I learned about all of this, I was surprised as well. I never thought there would be anyone willing to marry the CEO of a company that was about to go bankrupt. And even crazier is that she actually has loads of money. What do you mean by his company going bankrupt? There's actually one other reason him and I got divorced. When I had first heard he was cheating on me, I really had no clue of who he was sleeping with behind my back. And at that time, I was already upset at just knowing that he was cheating on me, and that was enough for me to start thinking about divorce. However, it turned out that he was sleeping with other employees within his company, and soon they started to speak up about it. That's of course when I lost it and chose to leave him, because I just could not deal with his crap any longer. His company began to go downhill, and it was only a matter of time before he'd have to either leave the company or go down with the ship. So the two reasons I left Jerry were because of his cheating and the fact that I couldn't see him saving the company from the image he gave it. Huh? That's the whole reason I thought after our divorce that company and him would go under, but to learn that he'd get remarried and that his company would stand back up really shocked me. I'm sure that his current wife was willing to help his company out by handing him a large amount of money. Are you serious? Now I don't want to say anything more, so you should really go and get all his wife's things before she comes back. I really don't think that even in the case that Jerry got kicked out by his wife, he'd turn to you become his next woman anyway. He told me before that he only views you as a hit toy for pleasure. And since you're not the brightest woman in the world, I think he'll have no other choice but to toss you aside. Then there's no way he'd do something like that to me. He's told me so many times before that he loves me. He even told me that one day he wants to make me his new wife and everything. So why would he be saying that if he has another wife with a lot of more money than me sitting by his side? If he loves me as much as he says he does, then I should be the one he wants to marry, right? Well, then why don't you just prepare yourself and wait in that penthouse to see what all goes down? Then you'll be able to learn firsthand the truth behind of all this. But to be honest, I don't even know what will really happen, nor do I care. What am I gonna do, Janice? I was just told by Jerry that he wants me to leave him. I had been waiting all day for him to come home to here, right? But him and that wife of his walked through the door with their hands held tight, and they both looked like they were having a ton of fun together, him and I together right now, and yet he went out on a fun date with his wife? That can't happen. Whoa, so it seems he's having a better relationship with his own wife than with a toy. And then when I went up to him to ask him to marry me, he responded by saying that he wanted to know how an ugly woman like myself got into this house. And then he went and kicked me out of the house with the help of his wife. He then turned to her saying that I'm only one of his toys and that she was nothing to worry about. He didn't even make an eye contact with me as he told his wife that. So that must go to show that Jerry really does love his wife more than you, huh? And then his wife told me that I would need to pay her a settlement as well as repay her for all the things I threw out. That all comes out to be $200,000 and she wants it paid in cash. $200,000 paid in cash? That's quite a large amount of money, huh? Right? There's no way this could ever happen, right? But then his wife told me that if I couldn't hand over the money right then, she'd call the police on me. And that's when Jerry said he doesn't care what she does about me. Well, I mean, when you looked online, you saw that a lot of those branded items all went for thousands of dollars, right? And you went ahead and vandalized and technically stole all of that and more. And when it comes to the settlement she's asking for, I'd assume she wants a lot of money from you for cheating. But that much? I don't have that kind of money, especially not in cash. Hey Janice, what should I do here? You should be willing to help me since I'm your friend. No way. I don't even want to deal with you. Huh? I know that all this turned out to be a huge misunderstanding for you, but you knew that he was my husband and still started going out with him anyway, right? You pretty much said it yourself. You stole my husband from me, right? Do you really think I want to help someone that's done that? I get that and all, but this all turned out to be a misunderstanding, right? And so I never actually stole anything from you, so you should be fine with helping me. I really am asking you right now to please help me. If you're looking for someone to help you pay off that money, why not ask Jerry to help you? After all, he's the man that got you into all this mess, right? And now I'm going to leave. I have nothing to do with your guys' drama, so please, don't drag me into this any further. What?
Why is this happening to me? It's all because of your friend that my life is coming to an end. My wife is asking for me to divorce her, and then she wants to kick me out of this place. And now she's not even going to be around to help me with my company anymore. Why the hell is this happening to someone like me?
Ah, I see. So you're also going through some tough stuff now. Well, no matter what you tell me, I have nothing to do with you guys.
Huh? But this is all because of that friend of yours. Yet you are still trying to say that you have nothing to do with this.
Before you start saying that she's a friend of mine, remember that you are the one that started sleeping with her. You knew about her being my friend, yet you still did it anyway. So stop trying to blame this on me, when I haven't even been around for you 3 years from now.
Shut the hell up! You keep saying it like I care about her, but all she was to me was a toy. Yet, she thought she had the right to sneak into my penthouse like that. It's all because of her that my life has turned upside down.
Don't try to act like you're not to blame for all of this. You have a wife with you and yet you still decided to go out with another woman. And of course, it turned out that your wife was the one helping keep your company out of going bankrupt. Yet even with all the help you got from her, you decided it would be fantastic to start cheating again. It's funny that you weren't ever embarrassed to admit all of that to me.
Shut the frick up!
Do you think this is all okay for a CEO to do? You said after all those women around you, you want to play with you, right? But having all of them around you was due to your wife being so generous and loving towards you, right? Yet, you thought it was all because of you that you had a selection of women to choose from, and that's why you started cheating again. That's really something to be ashamed of, you whore.
Did you not hear me when I said for you to shut up? I'm not going to forgive you for calling me out like this.
Oh my, you're starting to scare me now. Well, if you don't want me calling you out and making fun of you, maybe try putting your phone down and quit texting me. I mean, if you have the time to sit here and blame everyone but yourself, then why not use that time to try and fix your company? You're going to lose your wife's financial support, so your company will sink for sure.
Crap. Unlike you, I thought that my wife would be understanding of everything. Yet now she's trying to take me down for only having a little fun with some other women. I really thought that because of all the money she has, I'd be able to get away with all of this and never have her find any of this out. Yet she's now threatening me with divorce after your friend decided to break into our house.
So you only married her for the money and to keep things hidden again? Seems you really need to learn your place, and the only way that will happen is that if you learn through pain and suffering. I'm sure there's something I could do about this.
Huh? What? What do you plan to do?
Do you know what kind of connection there is to my friend being the same person you ended up cheating with? I think I can tell your wife all sorts of things about the two of you now.
What? Wait. Please, don't do something that you're going to regret. If she finds out even more things about me being with Isabel while married to her and the past we had together, I'll literally be in hell.
And it's because you went and did all this crap that I think I'll have to talk to her. Now I have someone I need to talk to, so I'll be going. Isabel tried her best getting down on her hands and knees to try and apologize to Jerry's wife, but she didn't budge one bit and continued to ask her for that money. So then, Isabel went and sold a bunch of her own things, as well as borrowed some money from a loan shark to get enough to pay Jerry's wife in cash. And now, because of the terrible debt she's gotten herself into, she's working all day and all night to make any money she can. And as for Jerry himself, he did end up getting told by his wife to leave her. And in the divorce, she'd also be asking for a settlement from him too. And to help make sure she was successful in all this, I helped her out by sending her all the information I knew about Jerry and Isabel, and she was able to gather enough evidence from that. There were also some messages between Jerry and Isabel regarding his wife, like him calling her a wealthy idiot, and that he only needed her for his company, which of course all led to her asking for a very large amount of money from him as well. So to pay off the money he owed his now ex-wife, Jerry was forced to close his company and sell whatever he could to afford to pay off the settlement. And now that he's met his true fate of losing his company and all his money, he's now working the night shift as a male escort, trying to relive the life of having women asking him to be around.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Gordon, will you not be able to make it to today's meeting? Did you have to go into work or something today?
Nope, I've been around the house all morning. I've been eating a pizza and watching some movies.
What? You've been at home this whole time? Well, then you need to hurry up and come to the clinic right now. I told you already to bring me some change of clothes for today, right?
I'm the one that gets to choose what I do on my day off, right? During the week, I have to work hard every single day, so it'd be nice to actually have my weekends off.
Then when you get time, could you please bring me a change of clothes? I don't have any clean clothing left, so if you don't come today at some point, I won't have anything clean to wear.
You think I care? I'm not going to that hospital for you. If you want some new clothes to change into, then how about you go to the nearest store and get some?
Wait a second, Gordon? What's happened to you? Why are you getting all upset with me like that? Did something bad happen at work over the week?
This is not about my work, it's about you, Nicole. Tired of having to cater to you all the time. It's why I'm really sorry to say this, but you and I are getting divorced.
Divorced? What is all this about, Gordon?
It's been 3 months now since you got into that accident, right? I can't deal with this kind of a life any longer. The moment I get out of work and come back to the house, there are still all the dishes from breakfast on the kitchen counter. There's no dinner made for me either, and the house looks like a mess. How much longer are you going to stay in that hospital slacking off from all your chores at home?
What do you mean slacking off? I've still been going through therapy for what happened to me after that accident, and the doctors have said that the healing process will take time.
Well, what about you walking again? Last week when I came into the hospital, I was talking with the doctor about you. I asked him how much longer will it take for my wife to walk again so that she can come home and take care of me.
You asked the doctor something like that?
And then the doctor gave me his answer. He told me it would be very difficult for you to get your full mobility back. He then went on to say that a lot of therapy would still be needed, and that both you and I needed to be prepared for that. He then finished the conversation by saying that the best choice would be for me to start doing some of the chores, so that you could have time to focus on healing. What the hell does he think he's saying?
I have been talking with the doctor about my legs as well. He told me there would be a lot of rehabilitation before I'm finally mobile again, but that doesn't mean I won't be able to get around. He said that as long as I'm putting in a lot of effort, I'll be able to start standing on my own again and getting around slowly. And that over time, as long as I keep up with my therapy, I'll be back to how I walked before the accident.
You can work as hard as you want then, but I'm done with all this. I do not have the time to take care of some crippled woman.
Gordon.
You know dang well that I'm a very busy man with a lot of things going on every day. I have work 5 days a week, and that doesn't include the overtime I'm always having to put in to get my tasks done. And I'm always the one that has to go into work on my weekends if something needs to be handled. So I need all the time at home that I can get for myself, so that I'm ready for the next work week. Yet you went and got into that accident, which has now gone and taken all my time away because I have to care for you. Every time I have a day off, it's all about you needing me to come see you, and me needing to bring you new clothes. I don't want to do any of that for you anymore.
I think you need to calm down a little there, Gordon. I'm really sorry that this accident has caused you to take on a lot of responsibilities. But your wife, of all people, was in that accident and has to be in the hospital for a little while, so you as a husband need to bear with it and support me. Also, the reason I'm in this condition has to do in part with you, Gordon.
Huh? I never had anything to do with you ending up that way, Nicole. You were the one that fell behind me during all of that and got hit.
What?
You really want to start blaming me for what happened to your legs? Wow. How come I was totally fine when that driver started to come at us at the crosswalk? Oh, I know, because I'm actually very fit and was able to move out the way. That maybe if you were actually paying any attention, you could have dodged out the way with me instead of being hit.
You have no right saying that about what happened. You were the one that grabbed my back and pushed me down to get ahead of me. If it wasn't for you throwing me to the ground, we both could have gotten out of that car's way. And then after I was hit by that car, you just stood there doing nothing besides yelling at me to get up. You didn't even bother trying to call the ambulance when all of that happened, Gordon.
Oh, shut the hell up. Anyway, you and I are done with. Divorce. Divorce, divorce, divorce. I'm not gonna care for some crippled woman anymore when it's her own doings that got her there.
Are you serious? You have no regrets or anything for what you just said? Do you not even care that I'm the wife you've been married to for 7 years now and have done so much for you? You're really just going to abandon me now after I ended up getting hurt in an accident you were a part of?
Hey, you want to start getting all upset about it, then be upset at yourself for moving like a dead fish. How dare you even think getting hurt bad enough by that car that you had to be put in a wheelchair when you have more important things to do than sit around? Maybe if you were like me and actually worked out for once, that car wouldn't have busted you up so badly.
Huh?
Next time I come to that hospital, I'll be bringing along the divorce papers. Your right hand still seems to work, so make sure you sign all of them for me. Sorry about today, Nicole. I asked you to come into the office like that for me with no warning at all, but you really did help me out a lot. Thank you so much for all that advice as well.
You don't have to worry about a thing, Ryan. I'm just happy I could be of some help for you. Also, all I really had to do was come into the office and ride around in that wheelchair for a bit, right? Takes me back to the days when I really needed one, you know?
But the fact that you have experience in them has really helped me a ton. The advice you've given me is very real, and will be taken into consideration, of course. Ever since one of my employees had that accident and needs to be in a wheelchair for a bit, I've wondered what all could be done to help make this office a more accessible place for him. So, because of you coming in today to help us out, we will be able to make some changes and get this office building to become even more open and accessible for all.
Just make sure that the first place you work on is that front incline leading up to the door and lobby. It was too steep for even me to muscle up, so that needs to be made longer and shallower. Although the other thing you can do while that construction is going on is having your employee work remotely while they recover.
That's a very good point. But the CEO has made it pretty clear that he doesn't want anyone working remotely. I've been talking with him to try and get some systems implemented to make remote work viable, but that won't be happening overnight.
Oh, is that right?
That's why the only other thing we can do is have our employees take time off until they're a lot better and can walk again. They keep going on about how much they want to come into work and get some things done. They were just made a lead member of our projects team after all. So, no matter how hard I try to get them to stay home, they keep on asking about coming in.
I suppose that must be very tough on you.
Well, so in order to allow them to make it back in, I'm going to work on making this whole office building more accessible. By using this situation as an opportunity to make the company all-inclusive, things will be a lot better for the future. And if we can get all the systems implemented that we need for remote work, everyone will benefit.
I think the same thing. It'll all take a lot of work, but I know you can do it.
Thank you. Having you put some faith into me like that really does get me pumped up. Now I'm going to be getting back to work here. Thank you again for coming in today. You're still in that wheelchair? Weren't you going on about how much effort you put into rehabilitating yourself? Well, look where all that effort has gotten you.
What? Is this your number, Gordon? If this is you, then tell me what you want with me.
Hey, come on, Nicole. I can't believe that after 5 years, I'd see you again. And honestly, I didn't even think you'd answer me after I sent you a message to see if you even remembered me. And you responded to me immediately, huh? Don't tell me these past 5 years has been you just waiting and hoping that I'd talk to you again someday.
Huh?
Well, I'm sure that's the case, ain't it? Even after being hit by that car, you're still in love with me and want me back. You might have gotten divorced from me, but that didn't stop those hopes you had of us getting back together someday.
You're only just getting back in touch with me, so please refrain from talking about me still loving you or anything else that off-putting. I don't want to get back with you ever again, and I didn't even know who this was, and that's why I responded the moment I saw the text come in. So please don't take that the wrong way.
Hey. Well, I don't like you trying to hide the obvious from me, alright? I'm finally getting back in touch with you after 5 years, so please, be honest and open with me.
I really wasn't asking for you to ever talk to me again. Now, tell me, what do you want? Also, where did you end up seeing me today when I was in a wheelchair?
In the office today. In the office. I cannot believe that the company I transferred to would end up having you in the office. Well, When I saw you out the corner of my eye, I was surprised.
At the office? Wait, are you talking about green paper?
Oh, that's the place. To tell you the truth, after I divorced you, I ended up changing jobs and have been succeeding at life ever since. And that's why I'm working for such a large company as Green Paper.
Is that right?
Before I came all the way here, I was working for one of their smaller offices, out in the countryside. However, after a little while of showing amazing results to all my higher-ups, they had me moved to the headquarters. So today was the day I came in to check the place out and see where my cubicle was. Then, that's when I saw the one person I never expected, my ex-wife. And to make things even more crazy at the time, you were still in that wheelchair. God, I laughed my ass off so hard in the break room.
I can't believe that today, of all days, you saw me. And hearing that you'll be working in the headquarters now? Ugh, I guess there are some bad coincidences in life as well.
And was I surprised to see a cripple like you working for a large company now? Who thought this company would be alright hiring a divorced and crippled housewife who is no use to anyone?
Excuse me?
Ah, that's right. They probably hired you because you're in a wheelchair, right? All these large companies are doing things like that now, aren't they? Hiring cripples and the mentally unstable to work for them, so people think they're inclusive, right? They wanted to tell all the other useless divorced women that they understand them, and that's why they let you work here. How nice. And with that, you found yourself an easy position inside this Fortune 500 company. You should be thankful now that I let you get hit by that car, right?
What the hell?
Well, even though you have a nice job now that was given to you out of pity, I'm sure things are still very lonely for you, right? Luckily, I'm going to be working with you some, so let's you and I become close again as co-workers, alright?
No thanks. I don't want anything to do with you ever again, Gordon.
Hey, you. Are you sure you want to be talking to me in such a disrespectful way now? There is not another man in this world who cares about a crippled woman beside me.
Well, then let me tell you the truth. I happen to have a man in my life that loves me with every inch of his heart. I don't need you to worry about me for my life to be better than it was before.
Nice try. But don't start talking to me like you don't have a brain now, after you already lost the ability to walk around. Or could it really be true that you cripples are so lonely that you start to hallucinate having partners? Now this must mean you've really gone off the deep end.
Huh?
Well, I'll play nice with you. Take you out to dinner or something, since both you and I were given the chance of meeting one another again. I'll let the useless, crippled, and divorced housewife have one more chance at feeling loved. Yeah, but when you come out to dinner with me, make sure you're not using that wheelchair. I don't want to be embarrassed by having to be seen out in public with a cripple. It's been 5 years now, so you should at least have the strength to walk during a dinner date, right?
You'd better cut that crap out right now. Not only have you not been listening to a word I've been saying, but you keep on talking like you own me or something.
Huh. Why are you getting all upset with me now like that? Ah, perhaps it's because you still can't walk at all. You want to come out to dinner with me so badly. But since you can't walk, the only thing you can do is freak out like an animal, right?
Gordon?
It's been 5 years since you got ran over, and you still can't walk even a little. Well, I guess that means your life's over as a woman. You might as well put yourself out of your misery. Don't come into the headquarters ever again, Gordon. What? Are you able to read English? Or are you that mentally impaired that you need a caretaker around to help you out still? I just told you that this office no longer needs someone like you in it, so don't come back. Oh, so what it looks like here on my computer is that you were Gordon Gale, coming in from the office out in Mount Pleasant. And this month, and going into next month, you're supposed to be starting a new position here within the HQ. Well, I'm going to ask that you please stay home from now on, as we start to investigate you here within the company. Within a few days, HR will update you on what's to happen next with you. You can move on from there. What's all this about now? This isn't Nicole, is it? What the hell do you think you're doing showing up out of nowhere, talking a bunch of nonsense? Who the hell are you? I'm Nicole's husband, and I'm currently the COO of Green Papers, the company you've been working for. Huh? Yo, you're that one's husband? And the COO? Calling my wife that one is a little bit rude. Are you really someone this company thought was worth our time? Something tells me by the way you act that you shouldn't have even been allowed to transfer over to the HQ to work with anyone inside it. Wait. This is all so crazy, man. Stop it with all these stupid freaking jokes, will ya? Now tell me who the hell you really are. I have not been joking about anything, Gordon. Now tell me, what part has been crazy to you thus far? Also, I just explained to you who I am. Green Paper's COO. But after what was just going on, how could that be? There's no way she'd be married again. And the man she married is the COO of this company? Nah, man, that's all a load of bullcrap. And that's fine. You go ahead and believe whatever you'd like, but what I've said is all true. I would ask what I can do to make you believe, but you might need to call your caretaker first, right? Stop it with all the messing around, asshole. Can you not see that Nicole got ran over by a car? It's completely useless now. She's nothing more than a cripple. It'll never mean anything to anyone anymore. How the hell did she find someone to marry her? I'm not sure where you got the idea that Nicole is still in a wheelchair, or anything, but as far as everyone else can tell, she's walking around just fine. She did have to take some time to go to physical therapy and all after the accident, but there's nothing wrong with her now. If anything, from my point of view, the only person with anything wrong with them still is you. What? Nicole, she can walk? Yeah, and the way she walks is so beautiful to me. Standing next to her only makes me look better due to how powerfully she stands out. No way. That can't be. But because, she was in a wheelchair today. I saw her in the office. She was still rolling around in that thing like the cripple she is. Well, you just so happened to catch a glimpse of her at a bad time. Also, let's stop calling my wife a cripple, please. Not only is that word hurtful to her, but it's also very hurtful to those who are still dealing with physical disabilities and the like. Who do you think you are, to be calling someone else that when you're the one who needs to be placed in an institution? What? This company has a lot of people working in it, and within all those people are some struggling with disabilities of some sort. There are people who are paralyzed in certain ways, or perhaps have compromised immune systems or struggle with their mental health. There are people who have kids with such things, and those who are taking care of family with such things. Even people who are in wheelchairs or crutches due to injuries. We have all kinds of people working here, yet they all do their part and we thank them dearly for it. We don't care who they are, as long as they are getting the work they can get done. We're all happy. Yet for some reason there seems to be a virus among us, someone who was somehow hired to work for this company, yet does not care about inclusion like the rest of us. They seem to think they're better than everyone else, and can call those who they view as disabled or hurt cripples. What the hell is going on with you, Gordon? Hold on a sec. I'm just being real, okay? People who are crippled have to have others around them in order to be of any use, right? They all think that they can just live life like the rest of us, while causing all sorts of problems for us healthy people. So what you're telling me is that deep down, you feel that those with disabilities and health issues are causing problems for those who are healthy. Well, if that's the case, then the biggest cripple we have in this company is you, Gordon. Just hearing from you that you think of others in such a selfish and ignorant way is troubling to me. Huh? Alright. We figured this one out. You're going to be terminated. There's no way we can have a cripple such as yourself working in this company, as you'd disturb too many healthy people here. We'll make sure to do everything we can here to refrain from hiring those like you, and we'll start by letting you go. What the hell do you think you're doing? Talking like you have any power in the company. Don't think you can just fire me that easy. You should know better than me that you need to have the higher-ups agree with such a thing before they let me go. We'll see about that one. Now please stay home for the rest of the week and wait for HR to contact you. Yo, Nicole, is your husband really the COO of Green Papers or something? I was just called by the HR department and they just told me I'm being fired. I'm being fired from multiple companies within the company.
That's what I expected from the man I love. He's so fast when it comes to work, and that's why I love him. Today I'm going to have to make up his favorite burgers for him to cook on the grill later tonight.
Would you stop screwing around already? It's because of your husband that this is happening to me. Because of him, your ex-husband is losing his frickin' job. How is any of this okay with you?
Huh? It's your own fault that you've been fired by the company, Gordon.
But, by the way, I never even heard about you getting remarried or anything like that. And to this COO, such a large company, why didn't you tell me about that earlier?
Why would I ever tell my ex, who abandoned me after that accident, anything about my life now?
That's right. But it wasn't after the accident, but after the use of your legs didn't come back. And what was that about you riding in the wheelchair in the office? I saw that with my own eyes. Yet I'm being told now that your legs actually healed up fully.
They really did, though. All of that rehab was really tough on me and made me want to give up so many times, but I powered through it. And because of all that, I no longer have to live a life where I struggle with getting around every day.
Then why were you in a wheelchair that day?
I was asked to do so by my husband. He needed my help getting some advice on how accessible the office was for people in wheelchairs. So I came to the office with my wheelchair and rode around in it for a little bit to get an idea of how things were. Then I went and told my husband about all the goods and all the bads about the building's accessibility.
Is that right?
But you happened to see that for a second and took that as my reality before you began to harass me later that day. All of that fun you had sure was worth being fired over, right? What a frickin' dumbass you are. I was going to stay with you after that accident and try to support you as you recovered from it. But it seems that would have been no use, as even today, 5 years after the accident, your brain trauma is still causing you issues.
Huh?
Now I'm going to get out of here. I have a lot to take care of in this massive house, so it's time to get back to work. I've got to go and clean the front porch and then get dinner going. So, goodbye.
Please, Nicole, don't abandon me, please. You should be able to understand where I'm coming from emotionally right now, correct?
Oh, damn. I thought that goodbye text last week was enough to tell you not to talk to me anymore. Guess this is what my husband meant by you needing your caretaker around you at all times. So what is it now?
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd still respond to me, even now. You really must still have feelings for me, right?
Huh?
I have some very good news for you. I just got into an accident, and I'm getting admitted to the hospital right now. Do you think you can come and see me? Right now? I would like you to stop by my place and grab both my wallet and some clothing for me.
Oh, hold on. You got into an accident?
I did. I'd been in a bad trance after hearing about how you remarried and because I just lost my job. And, well, as I was daydreaming, I walked out into the intersection on a red light and then I got messed up so badly that I needed to be taken to the ER. For the time being, they're saying I'll need to stay in a wheelchair.
Really?
But you, being the kind and considerate woman you are, wouldn't leave me to rot here, right? Go ahead and just leave that stupid husband of yours and come back to me, please.
Now why would I ever do such a brainless thing? Just do your best with all those painful surgeries you'll have to go through and hope they fix things like they did with me.
How am I supposed to get through all this on my own, though? The doctor is already telling me things aren't looking good at all for my legs, and that even surgery would be a waste of time. I'm being told that after everything is done here at the hospital, I'll need years and years of therapy to even try and get sensation into my legs again.
Well, don't worry about all that. You said it yourself that it only takes 5 years to get enough sensation back into your legs to go out to eat again, right? If it was that easy for you to say such a thing about me, then it must be child's play for you. You'll probably be back on your feet in a year or two, considering you went to the gym all the time, right?
There's no way that'll happen. I can't feel anything. My legs weren't the only thing that got screwed up. My back is all torn apart and so are some of my organs. And worst of all, I'm so lonely and scared right now. Because of this accident, things are already getting so lonely that I want to cry and cry and cry. Are you really going to just leave me like this?
Of course I am. Who wouldn't want to leave some problem-causing cripple like you behind after all? So now that you're aware of how I feel, good luck with all that pain and suffering you'll be exposed to. I hope that someday you'll get your legs back, because if not, you might just be better offing yourself or something. I like to think that those last couple of words from me really got to Gordon mentally, as I never heard another thing from him since. And as for my husband, he was able to really get his company to become more accessible for everyone, and is continuing to try and make things even better. He's even gone and gotten all of the systems implemented that'll allow for people to work remotely if need be, which was a huge accomplishment for him. And because of all his hard work so far, the company has had multiple articles written about the accessibility it's working towards. And this has led to him being accepted as the next CEO after the current one retires. As for what's been going on with my ex recently, he's still been in the hospital recovering from his injuries. However, the doctor's there and talks about having him transferred out of the hospital to a different one because he keeps causing problems for everyone who tries to help him. Also, there happens to be something else I heard about just the other day, and that's that Gordon had another woman. But due to his recent accident and the fact he started to go all crazy from it, she no longer wanted to stay with him. I'm sure there'll be more to come with his story in the future, but not much of it would be good news to anyone's ears.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.